Okay, welcome to Chapter 4, Fix your test. I'm not going to give you the answers, but I'm going to help you fix your test. Starting with number 1, it's a triangle. What did we memorize as triangles for finding area? Base times height, cut it in half. Base times height, cut it in half. Okay? Your base is the bottom here, so the 6 inches. Your height goes straight up and down, and so this 5 has nothing to do with it. Base times height, cut it in half. Remember, inches squared should be in your answer. Number 2, it's a rectangle. How do we find the area of a rectangle? Base times height. Base times height. So you have your base and your height. Base times height. In your answer, it should have kilometers squared. Number 3 is a parallelogram. If you remember when we did the activity, we cut this triangle off and moved it straight over and found out that it was just the same as a rectangle, right? So it's the same formula. Base times height. Base times height. Here's your base. Your height goes straight up and down, so the 5 has nothing to do with it. In your answer, you're going to want to have yards squared. Number 4, area of a square. It's still base times height. These lines are showing you that they're all exactly the same. That's what makes it a square. They're all 4 inches. So if I go base times height, I'm going 4 times 4, right? And remember, inches squared in your answer. Number 5, it's telling us that the area of a triangle is 80 centimeters squared. If the base of the triangle is 10, what is the height of the triangle? So we have the base. For triangles, we go base times height, cut it in half, and that's going to equal 80, right? That's what we found out. But it gave us that the base is 10. 10 times something, when we divide it in 2, equals 80, right? So what times 10 when we cut it in half equals 80? Well, one thing I told you to think about is before you cut it in half, 80 is the answer after you cut it in half. So before, the answer is what? 160. So what times 10 equals 160? That's your answer here. Remember, it's centimeters. Okay, number 6, it's a composite figure. It's a birdhouse, but it's composite. You have to find the area of the triangle, and the rectangle. Let's do the rectangle first. The rectangle is still base times height. Put your answer inside the rectangle. The triangle is still base times height, cut it in half. Remember, if this line is 6 right here, this is also a 6 right here for your triangle. Your height is 3 for the triangle. Base times height, cut it in half. Put your answer there. Add the 2 together, and you have your composite area, or the area of the composite shape here. Okay, number 7, it's a trapezoid. It tells you that the height, the h, is 2, so instead of this h, I put a 2. Instead of the b1, the base 1, I put a 3. And instead of the base 2, I put a 5. Okay, how do we find the area of the trapezoid? You guys remember? We add the bases first, right? I go 3 plus 5. I get my answer. I multiply it by the height, 2, and cut it in half. After you add the bases, it's still just base times height, cut it in half. Add the bases, times it by the height, cut it in half. Okay, here we have a kite. It tells you that the diameter going this way is 6 and the diameter going this way is 8. And really, we discussed an easy formula for the kite is just multiplying the 2 diameters together and cutting it in half. Okay, or you could do each triangle if you wanted to and adding them together. But probably the easiest way is to multiply your 6 times your 8, cut it in half, and it's centimeters squared. Flip your test over. Number 9, it's a composite figure again. First, we have a rectangle again. Base times height, 8 times 6, put your answer right here. Then you have a trapezoid. If this line is 8, this is also 8. Okay? How do we find the area of a trapezoid? We add the bases, 8 plus 2, whatever that is, times it by your height, and cut it in half. So 8 plus 2, get your answer, times it by 5, cut it in half, write your answer right here. Add the two areas together so you have the total area of the composite figure. If you've done it right, one of these choices works. Number 10, area of a parallelogram. Once again, if you were to chop this triangle off right here and put it over here, you'd see that it's the same as a rectangle. So we still just go base times height. We go 8 times 7. 8 times 7. Put your answer right here. We're only doing the shaded region, so now you got to subtract this rectangle. How do you find the area of the rectangle? Same thing, base times height. Times those together. Subtract it from your other answer, and you have the area of the shaded region. Remember to put millimeters squared. Number 11, you're simply plotting the points and then connecting the dots. When you connect the dots, you need to connect them with straight lines. For example, when you do the first one, this doesn't say 6 by the way right here, but you're going to add a 6. You're going to hop on the elevator at 6, you're going to go up 4 and put a point, and you're going to label it A. Okay, you do the other two, and then connect the 3 points. It should make a triangle for you if you do it correctly. Okay, numbers 12, 13, and 14. This is the same thing. You plot these points. Hop on the elevator at 1, go up 4, put a point. Okay, hop on the elevator at 6, go up 4, put a point. Hop on the elevator at 6, don't go up anywhere because it's 0. Hop on the elevator at 1, don't go up anywhere, it's 0. Put your points. Connect them. What shape is that? Okay, remember, it's only a square if all the sides are equal. Otherwise, it's something else. How do you find the perimeter? You add up all the sides. It's the outside distance. And your answer should just say units because we don't have any other, we don't have feet or inches or whatever. Just say units. The area, you multiply the base times the height. And in your answer, you put units squared. Okay, thanks for fixing your test. Come bring it to me. Have a fabulous Thursday.